So I I want to go on a little rant in this video, yeah, and it has to do with Canadian politics. Excuse me, and black people in this part of the world, black people in like Canada, Afro Canadians from every background. It doesn't matter if you're from the Caribbean. It does not matter if you're from Africa, or it does not matter if you're a black Canadian that came into Canada on the Underground Railroad from America to Nova Scotia and to southern parts of Ontario. And that goes to show you that black people have been in this country for a long time, forever, very long time, right? Sorry guys, I'm coming down with the flu. So what am I talking about, right? We have a new prime minister here. Guys, we under the like British system, yes? So our prime minister, Mr. Justin Trudeau, who had been in power for almost 10 years, he resigned. And the British parliamentary system, when a prime minister resigns, the party has a convention, and members of the like party elect a new leader. The new leader becomes prime minister until an election is called. Excuse me. So we have a new prime minister. His name is Mr. Mark Carney. And if you're from England, you would know Mark Carney because he was the governor of the Bank of England for many years. He was the governor of the Bank of like Canada also. And then he went to England. An economist. So in this time, what we are dealing with now with like Donald Trump and tariff and all this stuff, right? I think his background could be an important part of his like prime ministerialship. I guess his background could be an integral part in like guiding Canada through like tariffs, you know, and like looking for other market outside of America to diversify our market, which we should have done years ago, but being naive and being whatever, we rely on our geographic with America. And now, you know, like we got basically slapped in our face by Donald Trump. So this is like what's happening right now. It's a wake-up call for us Canadians, yeah? So his background, guys, can be an asset to us, right? Now, me personally, excuse me, I'm a liberal. My politics is center-left. But I am not 100% sold on Mark Carney. We'd have to see what he does, you know? And to be honest with you, my party, the like Liberal Party, was tanking in the polls. And because of like Donald Trump, you know, talking about annexing Canada and making Canada the 51st state, whatever, Donald Trump has give a shot in the bum to the Liberal Party. The Conservative Party of Canada was poised to become the next government. Hands down. Right? But the Conservative leader had aligned himself with Trump. Right? So because of all of this like kind of stuff, you know, the like Liberal Party has, you know, has shot up in the polls and now they're back in the lead. So Mark Carney, I believe in the next couple of weeks, they are talking about calling election so he can have a mandate, yes? His own mandate. Guys, what am I talking about? What am I going on about? You look at the makeup of the new federal cabinet of this country. Black people are not represented. We are not represented in this country. Okay. The Speaker of the House of like Parliament is black. What other positions are there? You go to convention, like party convention, you see black people who are card members of whatever party. I'm a card member of the Liberal Party. Okay? What high position, what high government position can I look to after being in this country for 36 years and said, okay, boom, this is a black man is the minister of finance. A black man is the minister of foreign affairs. A black man is the minister of like transport. A black man, when I say man, I mean man or like woman, is the minister of health. Back in the day, we had a black Grenadian woman, Jean Augustine, what is her name? She was the minister of like woman affairs. Okay? And then she became the ambassador to South Africa. But what other position can we look at since then? We vote. Do we really vote? And that's the thing, no. The new cabinet of Canada, the Prime Minister appoints 3 Indians to high-profile cabinet portfolios. One black, I don't want to call her a girl, one black woman from Windsor, Ontario, was appointed Minister of Government Institution. Damn. Minister of Government Institution and Leader of the House. What nonsense is this? Guys, we pay taxes in this country. We buy houses. We shop. We invest our money. We contribute to the fabric of this country. But nobody have respect for us because we do not participate. We do not show up. You see, the Indians, the Indians took over Brampton. Back in the day, Brampton was black and whites. The Indians come in. The Indians started to like congregate in Brampton. The whites move further west. The Indian became, they have strength in numbers. They control Brampton. You would never see another ethnic group rising in Brampton to have any type of leadership when it comes to politics. Every constituency in Brampton is controlled by the Indians. Strategically. The black people that stayed in Brampton when the whites moved away, have been overpowered by the Indians. You go to the east end of Toronto, Markham area, you think that you're in China because all the Chinese congregate there and they control that area. So they make sure that every election, one of their own must be elected. 1 or 2 or 3 of their own must be elected to represent. You think any party that emerges the winner of any election, be it on local, provincial, or federal, would not appoint Indians to the cabinet, would not appoint Chinese to the cabinet? They have to, because that voting bloc is so powerful. We just had an Indian minister under Justin Trudeau, Minister of Defense. Like he was, he's Sikh, the ones that like with the turban. High profile cabinet post. They have to give them because they are powerful voting bloc. When election time, you see candidates, be it local, provincial, federal, congregate to Brampton, having big rallies in Brampton, going to Markham, having big rallies in Markham with the Chinese. You don't see them coming to any black community. Do we have any black community here? And this is what I talk about in Africa, yeah? You do not participate. You do not participate. You do not get a seat at the table. The Chinese, the Arabs, the Koreans, whatever, they come into Africa, they bid for contracts because we black people do not participate. And it's the same thing we do here in Canada. We do not participate. It's a sad, shameful thing to watch. that black people have been here for so long. Black people are, we sit on our, why the hell are we so complacent? Why are we so foolish in the things that we do? We've been here for so long. And yet still, we have no representation. What high profile government position, I'm asking again, can we look at and say, yes, this is one of our own representing black pilots here in like Canada for our national airline, Air Canada and Air Transat, and what other airlines that we have here? See black pilots, black firefighters. You've seen the black firefighters? One in all the years that I've been here. And the one that I saw, he works at the airport. Black paramedics, black male nurses, black doctors. Hi, that's another thing. Black doctors who knows the generic makeup of the black body. You see black doctors here, very rare. What are we teaching our kids? What are we pushing our kids to get into? Go on. You know, I remember one time, yeah, I went to the library a couple of years ago. It was in the summer. I went to the library. When I was going to do some research and some things, yeah, and I pulled into the parking lot, and the like library here, you know, had have basketball courts and whatever, you know, where kids can go and have fun, you know. I look at the basketball courts, right? It was all black kids playing. It did not register, you know. I'm thinking just kids, yeah. When I went into the library and I'm looking around, I said, who do I see inside the library reading on the like computers or like reading books? The Indian kids, the white kids, the like Chinese kids, the whatever kids, right? And that when it really struck me. And I looked outside, all the black kids outside playing basketball on the court. And inside the library are the Indians, the Chinese, the whites, and whatever. What are we telling our kids? What are we pushing our kids to? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing in this country? What the hell are we doing? Now, I'm not blaming anyone, you know. I am blaming ourselves. I'm looking within, and it is our fault. This one, I'm not putting it on anyone. This one lands in our lap. It is our fault that we do not encourage our children to get into engineering and medicine. And this type of positions. So if we do not do that, how are we going to have a seat at the table? We do not encourage our people. We have no sense of community, because if we have a sense of like community, how the Indians does it and the Chinese, I don't want to live amongst black people. I don't want to live among black people. And we go buy a house, we fit ourselves into the Indian community where they are building their community, and we buy a house there. Or we go into the white areas and we buy a house there. And then we are swallowed up. We do not have representation. So if we had community whereby politicians would not look over us, look down on us, but if we cannot elect anybody, any one of our own, because we rather, when we associate and assimilate into other communities, we vote for one of their politicians. And they get in power, they don't care about us. So it is sad to see that parliament after parliament after parliament after parliament, for so many years, black people are not given the right due. But it is our fault. This is the African Jumbie. Thank you for watching the video, guys. If it's the first time here, I appreciate each and every one of you. Please, karibuni sana, hatu jambo, habari za asubuhi, habari za jioni, hasuku mwema, hasuku vipi, habari mchana. Wherever you are in the world, guys, I appreciate you. Please give the video a like, leave a comment. Peace and love. Until next time.